Greetings everybody! So today we're going to talk about lemon scented leaves. Yeah, so these are things that were sent to me by Wanderlust Nursery, so thanks so much. If you're interested in growing this or other interesting plants, check out the link in the description below. So pretty much everybody has had a lemon and lemongrass, but here are 3 other leaves that have a very strong lemony scent to them and a lemony flavor to them that you may or may not have heard of. The first one you have definitely heard of, lemons. Lemons have an edible leaf. It's not something that people just like put in like a salad and put dressing on it. It's more used as a spice, similar to how you would use like a bay leaf. You would put a bay leaf in your soup, but you're not going to eat that bay leaf. You infuse the lemon leaf into things. The lemon leaves are used in some countries. In Italy, these are used to wrap cheese. When I was doing some research online, it said that these are used in Thai cuisine, Indian cuisine, and Greek cuisine. But that came from Wikipedia, and I think there's a little bit of confusion to that, because I don't recall seeing any lemons when I was in Thailand. I think they're talking about like different lime leaves and stuff like that. You can use this in tea. However, when you use it in tea, I read that it is not good to use a dry leaf. You want to use a fresh one because when they get dry, they start to get bitter. And it's also sometimes used as a potpourri. So you throw this in your underwear drawer. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of crunch it up and see what it smells like. Oh yeah. That is a very strong lemony scent, but it's also very herbal, like an herbal cough drop. It is technically edible, so I'm going to try a little piece of it. I can see why this would be good as a tea, because there is a lemony taste in there. However, there's also a grassiness to it and a bitterness to it, kind of like the bitterness you'd get from a lemon rind. So yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. I wouldn't make a salad out of this. I think you can eat it to some degree, but infusing it into things makes a lot more sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a tea out of this and see what that's like. My lemon leaves are boiling, so I'm going to turn this off. So I turned off the heat for about 30 minutes so it could just like infuse in there, and then I heated it up again so I can drink it. So, yep. It's alright. I could totally drink this as a tea. It's a little bit medicinal tasting, but not in a very negative way. I'd say that this would probably be a good thing to have like if you're sick or something. It's got like a nice, like a slightly like menthol, herbal kind of flavor to it, but you're mostly getting a lemony taste. It also has a flavor that is similar to, I don't know what to call it now because I've heard that this is actually an offensive term, so I apologize, but what's called the kathir lime. It's a lime that is used a lot in Thai cooking and sometimes Vietnamese cooking, I believe. It's got like maybe like a slightly soapy flavor to it. I feel like they must use like an extract of it in like cleaning products or something, and that's where you make that association. So it doesn't really taste like soap, but it tastes like the scent of a lemon soap. So it's not bad, but there's like a weird connotation to it. I think you could totally use this in cooking, and you wouldn't have to worry about saying the name of a fruit that has, you know, a controversial name to it. So, lemon leaves. That's a very fine thing to say, and probably a fine thing to cook with or to make a drink out of, like if you're not feeling well. It'd probably be like a comforting kind of drink. This is lemon verbena, and this is originally from South America, but was brought over to Europe in the 17th century. It's a popular thing for cooking. You can use this as a spice. You can dry it out and use it in different desserts and things like that. It's popular to make drinks out of. You can muddle this into a cocktail. It does have quite a bit of use in the culinary world. It does smell lemony, but very different than the lemon leaf. It has a little bit more of a sweet smell to it, like a lemon candy. one reason why this smells like lemon candy to me may be because a lot of times lemon flavored things or lemon scented things are actually derived from a different source than actual lemons. This is not related to lemons whatsoever, but because it has a similar smell to it, it is used as a replacement for lemon flavoring. This one is edible just on its own. People use it as a spice, so I'm just gonna take a couple leaves, and it's very bitter and herbal and menthol-y, like a cough drop. Similar to the lemon leaf. It's like if you took those qualities that it has and you just kind of tweak them a little bit. This one's maybe a little bit more herbal tasting, a little bit more lemony tasting than the lemon leaf, believe it or not, and maybe a little bit more menthol-y. It's pretty intense, but it tastes good. I think, though, this is something you'd want to cook with. You can maybe use like a couple leaves in a salad or something, or cooked into like a spinach or something like that. But you would want to use it sparingly because it does have a harshness to it that isn't so nice. Okay, so I left these out overnight and they dried out. So good, that means I can make a tea out of it. So I'm gonna take some of these leaves, crush them up. I don't know how much it'll take, so you know what, I'm gonna put them all in here. Maybe you need a lot, I don't know. So there it is. It doesn't look super dark or anything, just a slight yellowish, greenish tinge to it. But it smells very lemony. It tastes a little bit like if you were to take, make a tea out of lemon rind. I think this would be a good thing if you like chamomile tea and herbal tea like that. Very like mild, mellow flavor. So yeah, very good. And interesting how this tastes so much like lemons even though it is not lemons. Lemon Myrtle is from Australia. Also not related to the other two. Now this actually started as a food that the Aborigines of Australia would use in medicine and in cooking, but then it became popular in the culinary world. So now a lot of restaurants will use this as a spice. And it's especially popular for milk-based products because when you add this to milk, it doesn't curdle it the same way that a lemon would. It's not as fragrant. It's not as sweet smelling, but it is very similar. There's like a little bit more of a tartness to this one in scent. I'm really putting my nose to the test. So let's try a piece. It has heat to it. It's like burning my tongue right now, which is odd because this is not anything related to pepper. It's not even related to things like the Szechuan peppercorn, which are actually a relative of the citrus. I'm not sure exactly what the heat in this is. There's a different chemical compound in peppercorns and chili peppers and Szechuan peppers and other things. Tasmanian peppercorns, those all have a different source of their heat. It's a different compound. I'm not sure if this is the same as one of those or if it's its own unique thing, but that would be interesting to know because this one definitely does have a kick to it. This tastes like a lemon honey Ricola cough drop, but there is more honey and more herb flavor than there is lemon flavor. I'm going to take these leaves and put them on this pan and put this in the oven at 200 degrees just to dry it out. They are now cooled and as you can see they have completely dried out. They're all different. This one still reminds me a little bit like a lemon candy or a lemon like honey. It's got a touch of the heat that I noticed in the leaves, but not nearly as high. Without having noticed that before, I wouldn't notice it in here. I have all three of these lemon things side by side, and I can say that this one, it's lemony, it's got that honey flavor, it is definitely different. This is the lemon leaves. This one has a little bit more, this has a menthol flavor, this one doesn't. This one has a little bit of an herbal taste, this one doesn't. If we go for the first one I had, lemon verbena, I think. Very different still. This one has an herbal flavor. It's got like a grassiness to it. This one doesn't. So yeah, the lemon myrtle is probably the cleanest out of the three. It has a nice lemony, honey-ish flavor. There's a sweetness there, and why not? I'm gonna combine them. I've got lemon myrtle, lemon verbena, and lemon leaves mixed together. That's pretty good. It's got a little bit of that herbal taste, a little bit of that menthol taste, a little bit of that lemongrass, like kaffir lime taste. It's got a little bit of that lemon candy taste and a touch of heat also. Even though all three of these plants are not related and from different parts of the world, they obviously do share certain compounds with each other, so when you mix them together, it works. All three of these are good in their own unique way. And yeah, very interesting to get a chance to try these side by side. Thanks again to Wanderlust Nursery for sending this to me. Check out their website. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in growing any of these things. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I want to give a special shout out to AltPod and Smarter Every Day. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon is how this channel happens, is how I can afford to do all the things that I do. So if you want to help me out by supporting the channel and getting some bonuses along the way, check out the description. I also have these shirts for sale. Those are in the description as well. See you next time. Bye.